sets. So when you are on earth, the impression you get is that what is moving is the sun, because that is the one which rises and sets. And that was, every human being thought so until sometime around, I think, 1543, the man called Nicolaus Copernicus proposed a new theory that really the earth is the one which is moving, that we are actually revolving around the sun. And people say, how can that be? How can we be moving? The sun is the one which moves. We see it moving. But then he said, no, we are the ones moving. We rotate and we revolve, and the sun is fixed in our solar system, although that is not an absolute truth, because the sun also moves. But the movement of the sun is not what gives us the sunrise and the sunset. What gives us the sunrise and the sunset is the movement of the earth. Now, why am I using these two analogies? Because when you are moving, you get the impression that the fixed is also moving. But God is fixed, He's permanent, He's sovereign, He's perfect. He does not change. So anytime you see something that gives you the impression God is changing, it's not God changing. It is the changeable ones who are changing, but God is always the same. Are you following me? Now, I want you to fix that in your head, because what I'm going to teach further on will expand on all of these things. It's going to be just a fabulous time. I just want to pray with you if you want Jesus Christ to personally come into your life and change your life. It's not about which church you belong to. It's about who is in your life, who is in your heart. And if you truly want Jesus to come into your heart, I want to pray with you, and I want you to solemnly bow down your heads with me in prayer and say this prayer with me. Say with me, Heavenly Father, I come to you just as I am. I am a sinner. I cannot save myself. I ask you, Father, to save me. Give me new life. Make me yours. I thank you that Jesus died for me, and I receive him as my Lord and personal Savior. In your name I pray. Amen. If you prayed that prayer honestly and sincerely from your heart, I can speak to you on the authority of Scripture that your sins have been washed away. You are a brand new person. The Bible says, all things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. Let this encounter of Christ not just be a moment in your life, let it be a lifetime from today onwards.
Thank you for listening to Living Word. To interact with Pastor Mensa Otabil, like his page on Facebook. Follow him on Twitter @Mensa Otabil.
We thank thee each morning for a newborn day, where we may work the fields of new mown hay. We thank thee for the sunshine and the air that we breathe, O Lord. We thank thee. Thank thee for the rivers that run all day. Thank thee for the little birds that sing along the way. Thank thee for the trees and the deep blue sea, O Lord. We thank thee.
It's a universal truism that we all want to do better in this life. We all have that innate desire to be better. However, it is one thing to want something, and another thing to make it happen. For anything worth having, there are always going to be challenges. There are always obstacles on the path to greatness. For many people, that is where their desires end. For those people, an inability, a lack of capacity to do whatever it takes equals to an end to their dreams. They allow the obstacles to stop them dead in their tracks.
Good friends are hard to find.
But then there are those others who just think differently.
Everything country, real life.
They just think differently. For them, all they need to go after their dream is the belief that they can make it happen. The belief in themselves and what they are going after is enough to fuel their ambition. They do not allow anything to stand in their way. These people develop the willpower to go for whatever they believe they need. Where there is a will, there is a way. That is their motto. They know that if you are determined enough, you can find a way to achieve what you want, even if it is very difficult. They are convinced that with strong determination, the means to do things will avail themselves. So which of these two are you? Are you of those who allow the obstacles to stop them? Or are you among those who do not allow anything to stand in their way? It was Indian independence hero Mahatma Gandhi who once said, "If I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning." So as you start this week, as you start this day, as you start out on your day to day, convince yourself that you can do it, and you would find a way to make it happen. And that's an introduction and a way of welcoming you to this morning's show. Coming up at 6 a.m. is Abdullah Saka with a 6 a.m. news.
It's a blessed day here in Accra. Good morning and welcome to Zed News in the Morning here on 101.9 FM. Coming up this morning, one person confirmed dead in accident involving President Akufo-Addo's convoy in the eastern region, and several residents rendered homeless in fire explosion that killed 2 and left 14 with life-threatening injuries in the western region. We'll hear from an assemblyman who has issued a warning to fisher folk in that area. And Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia leads governing MPP to pay glowing tribute to late Ejiso MP John Kumar, who was buried over the weekend. Many thanks for joining us. I am Saka Abdullah. Let's begin. One person has been confirmed dead after an accident involving a vehicle in President Akufo-Addo's convoy at Bunso in the eastern region. According to reports, the accident occurred after a Kia truck crossed the Land Cruiser as the convoy was returning from Kumasi. Now, let me take you through excerpts of a statement issued by the presidency on that matter. It says, on Sunday, 19th May 2024, several vehicles belonging to the president's convoy were involved in a fatal accident along the Bunso-Achim Asafo stretch of the Accra-Kumasi highway. The unfortunate incident occurred whilst the convoy was on its way back from Kumasi after accompanying the president to Kumasi for a series of events this weekend. Now, tragically, one of the drivers, Mr. Kwesi Atta, has lost his life. Additionally, several close protection and police officers from the president's security detail have sustained varying degrees of injuries and received initial treatment at the Suhum Government Hospital. The injured persons are currently being evacuated to the University of Ghana Medical Center for further treatment and observation, while several vehicles in the convoy have also been completely wrecked as a result of the accident. Fortunately, the president is safe and unharmed as he traveled to Accra via military aircraft. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the deceased, and we wish a speedy recovery to the injured officers. Further details will be communicated as we continue to assess the situation. We appreciate your understanding and support during this difficult time. So that is what the statement said, and it was signed by Eugene Ahin, who is the Director of Communications at the Office of the Presidency. We'll keep you updated on that story as and when more details come up. Now, moving on to another tragic incident. Several residents in Ingresia, a fishing community in the Esikado Ketan constituency in the western region, have been rendered homeless after a fire explosion in the area. The explosion occurred on Saturday after a barrel containing premixed fuel burst while being rolled on the ground by the fishermen. 2 people have so far been confirmed dead, while 2 of the injured persons have been transferred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. 12 others who sustained various degrees of injuries are being treated at the Mfiang Kwanta Regional Hospital and the St. Benedict Hospital. Now, Assemblyman for the area, Gabriel Atomensa, who confirmed the incident to Z News, said several wooden sheds in the densely populated community have been razed down.
So we had to rush 16 of the victims to the hospital. We took 13 of them to Kwanta Regional Hospital and then 3 to Benedict Hospital. But unfortunately, yesterday, the 13 we brought to Kwanta, 2 had to be taken to the theater. And unfortunately, this one, we lost 1, 15-year-old boy by name Joseph Adam. And then not quite long a time, let's say 10:45 in the morning too, we lost another small boy whom we had challenged the doctors and nurses at the Mfiang Kwanta to make sure that he was referred to Kolebu as immediate as possible. We came in the morning and the boy was still there, and we also lost him. 7-year-old boy, Justice Dazi. So now, as I speak to you, the 13 that were brought to Mfiang Kwanta, 2 are dead, and then it's remaining 11. The 11, we have now sent 2 of them through the ambulance to Kolebu. So a 4x4 Land Rover car with his taxi all got bent yesterday. And the property, some of the houses, because it is wooden structure, has been bent to ashes.
So that is Mr. Mensah, who's an assembly member. Now, Mr. Mensah also warned fisher folks in the area against harmful practices that will put the community in danger.
I am communicating with all the bereaved families. We are praying that we don't record any other death again, and we pray and wish that those currently receiving treatment will have theirs in a speedy recovery manner, so that they will come and join us. And I also want to caution my fisher folks there that we should be mindful of whatever we do, because one person's mistakes done may affect an entire community as what it has happened now.
Now you heard Gabriel Atomensa, who is an assembly member in the Ingresia community. Now, away from that, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia over the weekend led the governing MPP to bid farewell to former Deputy Finance Minister John Kuma. The Ejuse MP, who died in March this year, was laid to rest at Onwe in the Ashanti region. There's more in this report.
In his tribute to the late MP, Dr. Baumia underscored John Kuma's selflessness, intellectual brilliance and warm personality, stating that his departure has left a significant void that is beyond consolation. The NPP flag bearer expressed deep sorrow over the passing of the former NEIP CEO.
He was renowned for his selflessness, intellectual brilliance, and warm personality. A man blessed with a good heart. His departure has left a void, and this grief is beyond consolation. Nature has dealt us a cruel blow, taking John away in his prime. I have lost a friend and a strong supporter. We appeal and pray to the good Lord to keep John in his bosom.
The NPP says the passing of John Kuma is a significant blow that has shaken its core. Its General Secretary, Justin Kodria Frimpong, remembered Mr. Kuma's unwavering commitment to the NPP, dating back to his days with Tescon.
The passing of Honorable Dr. John Ampintua Kuma, our hard-working Member of Parliament for Ejisu constituency and Deputy Minister for Finance, surprised us and shocked our very foundation because of what he meant to the party and Ghana at large.
The Finance Ministry, where John Kuma worked immediately before his untimely death, extolled the former Deputy Minister exemplary efforts and contributions to the ministry. Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare read a tribute on behalf of the ministry.
At his introduction to the staff of the Ministry of Finance, he made this profound statement: I am a minister of God by divine calling and a politician by choice. This is rightly so, because he perfected the two callings and positively impacted us at the ministry.
Meanwhile, Parliament has described the late Ejisu MP as a man of great ambition and excellence. Here is Deputy Clerk of Parliament Ebenezer Ahuma.
It is with a very heavy heart that the Parliament of Ghana pays tribute to the remarkable life and distinguished service of Honorable Dr. John Ampintua Kuma, a true patriot, selfless and visionary young man who has undoubtedly served the nation with a sense of commitment and dedication worthy of emulation. Tuesday, the 7th of March 2024, has thus left the Parliament of Ghana with an indelible, painful memory.
That was Fatal Bayega's report, read to you by Christabel Obushi Annan. Now, economist and professor of finance at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, says government will have to resort to increase production of essential food commodities to help arrest the depreciation local currency and also tame inflation. The call comes following the poor performance of the CDA against major trading currencies in the last 3 months. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Z News, Professor Mensah expressed worry over how government's flagship agricultural initiatives have been managed.
The exchange rate problem has to do with production. We may have to increase our production. If it is rice, if it is tomatoes, if it is the essentials that we consume, right? Those are short-term produce. We're talking about, rice. Within 6 months, within a year, you can harvest rice twice. And so when we started engagement with IMF and they started releasing to us, having that, briefing space, we could have the budget that we read. Did you see anything of channeling funds devoted for, rice production? That's an essential commodity. Food inflation has been driving our inflation, numbers. So Cote d'Ivoire and all those are still enjoying single-digit inflation. Why? Because they're able to provide food. They can import any other thing, but food on the table must be produced locally. So, it's a conscious effort, and we are waiting for a government that will say, okay, fine, look, we want to, put our money into essentials. And if it's planting for food and jobs, don't do anything. You see, the planting for food and job policy, all the monies went into hotels. They went into hotels because that is where they were drawing plants, and they never finished drawing the plants to go on the field. So the monies that were supposed to go to the field, a lot of them got stuck in the hotels for training, and all those people that want to be at the farm, thinking they are policy makers, they ended up squandering all these monies, without ending up at the farm gate.
He has also dismissed calls for the IMF to hasten in the release of the third tranche of money as part of its support program to Ghana, saying it will not have any significant impact on the depreciation of the cedi.
That money will not do anything. We got 600 million. What did they do? We should appreciate the essence of the IMF money. IMF money is to shore up your balance of payment. And shoring up your balance of payment means that you are in crisis. So you must come up to a certain level, before you can. But then it cushions the government in terms of the dollar demand. And so government will have that fiscal space. And so it's expected that that fiscal space, government leverages on it and then increase production. And that should be able to, one way or the other, minimize the demand for the dollar in our environment. But then just the money coming. And remember, IMF does not give you money to be distributed for your imports. No, that's not. They don't do business. They give you money to, make sure you rescue your crisis. That is what they do.
That was Professor Lord Mensah speaking on the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. Now, in other news, the Citizens Movement Against Corruption says Martin Abidi's petition to remove Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabin from office doesn't bid well for the country's fight against corruption. The Chief Justice has requested comments from the incumbent prosecutor on the allegations contained in the petition forwarded to her by President Akufo-Addo. Mr. Jabin's predecessor, Martin Amidu, is alleging, among other things, procurement and appointment breaches as well as violation of citizens' rights. Speaking to Zed News, co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption and member of the AU Advisory Board Against Corruption, Edem Senanu, said the petition sets a bad precedent and is not good for the fight against the canker.
It shows that our democracy is alive and no public officer should think that they are above the law. Having said that, there's a sense of some kind of personal vendetta and inconsistency because Martin has not found anything positive to say, even though he left at a time we're expecting more from him. He did not exercise fully the authority. He left us high and dry. And it's not usual good practice or best practice to find public officers who've left, then criticizing their successors. It's just a very bad precedent. And so it's kind of unexpected. It's not usual. And I think it's a low. It does not contribute positively to the fight against corruption. Well, if you fight corruption, as Madame Okonjo-Iweala said, corruption will fight you back. So it is not surprising that the foremost entity at the moment that has been making effort in the public space to fight corruption is under the glare, and people are commenting, others are obviously fighting back.
Edem Senanu is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption and member of the AU Advisory Board Against Corruption. Now, in some international news, Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash in mountainous terrain near the Azerbaijan border, officials and state media said on Monday. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on Sunday carrying Raisi and Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, was found early on Monday after an overnight search in blizzard conditions. Now, Raisi's death was later confirmed in a statement on social media by Vice President Mohsen Mansouri, and on state television. State TV reported that images from the site showed the aircraft slammed into a mountain peak, although there were no official word on the cause of the crash. That is all we have for Zed News in the morning. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. One person confirmed dead in accident involving President Akufo-Addo's convoy in the eastern region. Several residents rendered homeless in fire explosion that killed 2 and left 14 with life-threatening injuries in the western region. And we heard from an assembly member of that area. And Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia led governing NPP to pay glowing tributes to late Ejizo MP John Kuma, who was buried over the weekend. I am Saka Abdullahi. Jerry Ham continues with Zed in the Morning.
Zed 101.9 FM.
In the heart of Accra, nestled in the vibrant neighborhood of East Legon and New Beacon, a 360 multimedia firm has emerged. Introducing Zed Multimedia. With a steadfast focus on lifestyle, leisure, and business, we set out to bring high-value oriented programs that captivate the taste and desires of our audience. From the captivating airwaves of Zed 101.9 FM to the dynamic visuals of Zed TV and the innovative realms of Zed Digital and the incubation of advanced technological knowledge at Zed Tech, every facet of modern media is meticulously curated to engage and inspire. Also, let's not forget the new Finder newspaper, now under the Zed Multimedia umbrella, delivering insightful journalism with a business focus. Join us on the journey where innovation meets inspiration, where lifestyle meets leisure, and where business thrives. Change is here. Zed Multimedia, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform.
This is the House of Zion. This is number 6. Anyete Street. Right at the heart of East Legon, Accra. This is Zed in the Morning. Yeah, I am Jerry Home. In the first hour of the show, as we always do, we bring you the news headlines. The major newspapers, the major online portals, what are they saying? We'll review a couple of the top stories. All through to 6:50. At 6:50, Niakwede Sportscaster comes your way with Z Sports. The EPL ended yesterday. Who won? Who was disappointed? Niakwede Sportscaster comes your way with all of that. He takes us to the top of the hour 7 at 7 a.m. Business news right here on Z 101.9 FM. That will do for the first hour. In the second hour, we have top story. We pick the top trending story, dissect it from several angles. That will take us to 7:55 for business briefs. Business briefs is your MBA on wheels. It's a mini MBA in the morning. That takes us to 8, where we come your way with Zed Talk, all through to 8:55. At 8:55, customer service and experience moments right here on Zed in the morning. Taking us to 9, the last hour of the show. Today's a Monday. For regular listeners, you know what Monday means. Mondays, personal growth and development Mondays. So in a nutshell, that's how your show is going to be for today. 4 hours of excitement, of pure bliss, right here on Z101.9 FM. It's a Monday. Let's do it with God at the helm. Libote. Charlie, what happened? I will ask Regina, she was working in my house your weekend.
This is not fair though.
You were learning, right? Or this weekend you didn't learn a lot.
Yeah, but quite fruitful. A pastor friend of mine launched a book.
Okay.
It was
Ministry Matters. Yeah. Interesting. Regina, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was great.
Okay, you're not working.
I'm not answering that question.
Let's start with the newspapers. Regina, take us away.
Well, so we start with the Finder newspaper. 459,291 voters registered as EC rejects NDC's rigging claims. Also, 1 dead in fatal presidential convoy crash, and late Ejisu MP Dr. John Kuma laid to rest.
Okay.
The Ghanaian Times. Food price hikes hit hard on households. Agric expects calls for subsidy on farming inputs. Ejisu MP laid to rest. That story is on page 9. President Akufo-Addo receives Senegalese president to the Jubilee House. 2 accused of killing soldier at Kaswa Millennium City denied bail. Then on page 4, Parliament approves 24 ministers, $150 million for Garrett project.
Interesting. Daily Graphic, just one story on the front page. One big one. 3i Summit records big deals. $100 million for SMEs in Ghana. BOG reports on ECD success. That's the front page of the Daily Graphic. 3i Africa Summit shatters records, a landmark in innovation and collaboration. So that's the front page of the Daily Graphic.
The Daily Guide this morning, 2 dead, 14 injured in explosion at Isikado. Also, John Kuma's death, personal loss, that's according to Dr. Baumia, and 1 killed in presidential convoy crash.
The Daily Dispatch. Do not vote Mahama because he cannot seek re-election. That's from Baumia. The 10 highest paid sportsmen is on page 2 of the Daily Dispatch. Alan is behaving like when Kunedu formed her own party after losing NDC primaries. Former PNDC member. Miss Joan Efson passes on at 64.
Okay, the front page of the Chronicle. Our former mate has become a millionaire. That's Cecilia Dape's husband tells court. Biz gurus mourn with Kandapa and Betchi. Akufo-Addo advises journalists be accurate and ethical in your reportage. Minority strategy to torpedo approval of ministers fails. That's the front page of the Chronicle.
The Informer, bitter Amidu lambasted over petition to remove special prosecutor. Where fair, transparent, the EC is replying the NDC, and hope for Gold Coast customers at last as Baumia assures of bailout.
The New Crusading Guide, press convoy in fatal accident, 1 dead, several injured. Baumia's campaign strategy faces NDC. Porchum Berima declares. Be prepared to surmount global challenges, says Amjona to graduates of Morgan State University. Outrage in Okankwe North as NDC MP rejects World Bank project. Press petitioned over appointment to Court of Appeal. And finally, business moguls, politicians storm Bowman to mourn with Berche Kandapa.
Okay, the Daily Statesman, EC, we can't rig elections for any party. National roaming policy underway. And the third one is court nails cocoa bean smugglers. A big story on the front page of the Daily Statesman is uphold high ethical standards. Akufo-Addo urges media.
And the Business and Financial Times, 3i Africa Summit delivers big boost to fintech sector, records impressive numbers, partnerships and deals.
The Ghanaian Publisher, Akufo-Addo calls for ethical journalism. Baumia's running mate, NPP Blue Queens, clergy back woman. Parliament approves new ministers.
Okay, and the Custodian, the Monday edition, it says, business moguls, politicians storm Buaman to mourn with Berchi and Kandapa, and then the NDC MPs walk out, and Parliament approves new ministers. Uphold high standards, Akufo-Addo to journalist. John Kuma laid to rest is another story on the front page of the Custodian. The last one here is Zoom Lion sponsors 18 YEA beneficiaries for sanitation program in Belarus and Russia.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. Do you have any more papers?
All right, and The Finder, our very old The Finder. We've read that already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me pick some online stories as well. Let's do City Newsroom. The big one here from City Newsroom is Rock City Hotel presented best proposal for 60% stake in 4 hotels. That's coming from SNIT. And then also the front page, the big story here on the Asasi Radio, asasiradio.com. Rock City Hotel won an international competitive bid for 4 hotels, SNIT clarifies. And then also on the front page of Mindjoy. So it's the same story running from City, Asasi, and Mindjoy. SNIT explains decision to sell 60% stake in 4 hotels to Agric Ministers firm. Let's pick an international one, of course, from the BBC. And the big story yesterday night's breaking news: Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi killed in a helicopter crash. That's from the State TV. And then also it said that the foreign minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian is also confirmed to have died in Sunday's crash in northwestern Iran. And then the other story on BBC: Didi apologizes after video shows attack on ex-girlfriend. Guardiola turns Man City into PL's great untouchable. So these are the main stories on the homepage of the BBC, bbc.com. So, Regina.
Well, I'm starting with the Daily Guide. This story on the front page: 2 dead, 14 injured in Isikado explosion. The story is on page 3. I'll take a bit of that. It says 2 people have lost their lives following a premix fuel explosion at Ingresia, a fishing community in the Isikado Ketan constituency of the Western region. The 2 are among 16 people injured after the incident, which occurred on Saturday, May 18, 2024 at about 4 p.m. According to the assembly member for Ingresia Mempasem, Gabriel Atomensa, the 2 deceased, Joseph Adum, 15 years, and Justice Dadzi, 7 years, were receiving treatment at the Ifian Kwanta Hospital in Sekondi when they succumbed to their injuries. So that's that sad story from the Western region in Ingresia in the Isikado Ketan constituency. It's very sad. Yesterday, I was engaged in the assembly man, Gabriel Atomensa, and his narration of how the thing happened, it felt so surreal. So apparently when the fishermen buy the premix fuel at the pump, it's in a barrel, and they roll the barrel on the floor from the pump to where their canoes are. They roll it on the floor, and it was a slopey road. So as they rolled it on the floor, there were children playing around. One threw a stone, it hit the barrel, it burst, and then the contents of the barrel just, started seeping down. Ooh. And apparently, according to the assemblyman, the girl who threw the stone and then hit the barrel actually saw it, so tried to put sand over the leaking oil or the fuel. And there was a woman smoking fish nearby. It caught fire, and now 2 people are dead. 2 more people have been transferred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital due to the gravity of their injuries, and a number of the injured are battling life-threatening crisis as we speak. So I was thinking, how is it possible that this is how they've transported the fuel?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. But then
the thing is this.
Yeah.
In this here country called Ghana, 99% of what we do is just grace. We break all the rules. It's just grace, and then once in a while, we are reminded that Charlie, because I mean, yes. I mean, gas cylinders are wrong places. Gas tankers that would not follow the requisite whatever to offload gas, road accidents, and then so many things happen that is just caused by the negligent Ghanaian. But you ask yourself, how come things don't go out of hand? It's just grace. I'm telling you, because you say they say this is the way they've been doing it. Are you telling me MPA would have said yes, that's the way to do it? There would have been standards of transporting something that is such. Charlie, these things boy.
Because I'm also wondering, what was the size of the stone, and how strong is the barrel such that a stone thrown against it by a small girl will burst it?
Well, according to the assemblyman, the stone, in his words, a big one for that matter.
A small girl carrying a big stone.
That's what the assemblyman said. So apparently at the hospital, that's even how come they got to know what exactly transpired. One of the injured, a little girl, was shouting to the one who threw the stone in Fante that if I die, I'll come back for you.
Oh,
okay. So they were joking.
No.
No.
During on the hospital bed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In pain, telling the one who caused it that if I die, I'm coming back for you.
That's terrible, man.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Jerry, I have a story.
One life lost.
Yes.
It's one life too many in this country. One life lost. We joke with too many things. That's the thing. Car goes spoil for town. Nobody puts a triangle behind. They put neem tree leaves behind. And I keep telling you.
When I was coming, my boat got spoiled.
You see,
so I had to let him park somewhere.
I keep telling people always that because I'm doing the dawn travel all the way to the studios, I see disasters waiting to happen. If you're entering East Legon at 4:35 or through to like 5:30, there's always a convoy of aboboyas with no reflectors behind them driving into East Legon. Of course, some are coming for rubbish. Some maybe they are mineral water or whatever, sashi water. These things are disasters waiting to happen. But it's like we just, Charlie, God way they look after us kind of a town, and then one time something will happen and we complaining. Do you know the numbers of things that are disasters that are waiting to happen in this town? Or because the average Ghanaian doesn't take these things seriously? Look at lives lost. One life lost. One Ghanaian life lost is one life too many.
The assemblyman is apparently praying that there are no more deaths because the injuries are that serious.
See. Once we are more
this is we know the danger that when there is fire from fuel it causes.
Well, while we're talking about that, we can talk about the accident involving the president's convoy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be doing that top story. We'll be coming with all the accidents as part of top story, because today looks like that kind of day. I beg. We'll come, so don't go away. We'll come with the accident stories. Yes, boss, you're going to pick a story.
I saw a story on page 8 of the New Crusading Guide on the increasing food prices on households, and it's interesting. An agri expert is calling for subsidy on farming input. So, for instance, examples are given. A sack of gari, which used to sell at 1,600 last month, now goes for 1,800. A 200 cedis increment.
Between April and May.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, while the quantity of gari measured with the standard 6 captain, locally referred to as olonka, which was previously sold as 25 cedis per olonka, is being retailed at 28 cedis. And so you can just look at that. Meanwhile, the minimum wage is 18 cedis, 15 pesos, and the hikes in prices of basic foods appear to hit hard on household budgets, as families are grappling with having to adjust upwardly their budget for food almost every market day. You see, when you go to Agbogbloshi, for instance, a bag of garden eggs, which was sold at 600 cedis a month ago, is now 699 cedis. While a mini-sized bucket of red pepper, which was 100 cedis, is now 130 cedis. So I can go on and on. I see so many examples. In fact, kontomire, which was 5 cedis, is now 10 cedis. Kontomire.
Why are you saying kontomire like?
Because kontomire is like our birthright. You find cocoyam all around. Kontomire, it's not. I mean, I don't expect kontomire.
You heard him say that. You are laughing. You heard him say it.
No,
he said it's our birthright. Only Ima will say something.
I don't expect it to feature here.
No, you have no idea how things are on the market.
No, I don't go to the market.
Oh, yeah.
I buy
Why didn't I think about that?
Yeah, but should we also not be taking some of these birthrights, like he's saying?
I don't agree that is a birthright, but he should go on.
I beg you. For instance, you cannot plant cocoyam at home in your backyard, even if you're on a high riser. Are there not systems that could allow you to do some of these little ones? So that take cocoyam out of the market equation. Take the very basic one, so that when you go to the market, you're buying things that probably you couldn't grow them yourself or grow them in the quantities that you need. But cocoyam, I mean, Charlie.
No, but how many Ghanaians embrace that idea of farming at home?
That's why we are stressed. That's why we are stressed, because backyard gardening actually reduces stress.
Solved that issue.
Okay.
The supply would have been there.
Okay, birthright, man.
What is going to cost consumer price to increase?
Okay. But I mean, on that, we had Professor Lord Mentor this morning on the news saying that government needs to look at food production and agric in the country, because that is also contributing to the free fall of the city. And I see where that is coming from, based on what you're giving us.
Actually, a part of our inflation is FX induced inflation. It's coming from the foreign exchange. And so, Bolly, say Gary. I know we don't import Gary unless.
No, but wait again. Hold on. Why is Gary not the birthright but Kuntomi?
Why, Gary is the birthright of SHS students, not all Ghanaians.
Oh wow!
Don't encourage him, Bolly. Please don't ask him certain questions. Don't encourage him. Let's go to the FX. Let's go to the FX discussion.
So, Bolly, this is how it works. So, say, let me take one commodity here that maybe we import. So, rice, and the demand for our rice is high. The amount of rice you're able to supply in this country is low. It means that there's a shortage. How do you get the shortage? You have to do what? Import it. Now, once you are importing rice, what it means is that you are using more of your cedis to buy dollars to be able to import the rice. And once you do that, baseline, the dollar will have more strength than your cedi, and it will continue. And so, if we don't expand our agriculture base to supply what our basic need, we should be food sufficient as a country. Ghana should be food sufficient. And so if we cannot supply the food we want to eat, then we are going to suffer from that exchange rate driven inflation. We are really going. And it's interesting because, you see, Bolly, the fact is that agriculture employs majority of our population in this country.
Currently?
Yes. Historically, up to today, when you look at it. But you see, the turning point is that our revenues, just a small portion.
But agriculture is expensive.
Anyway, I mean, just to add up to it before we run out of here, page 69 of the Daily Graphic. I will prioritize mechanized large-scale commercial farming. That is coming from the Vice President, Dr. Baumia. It ties in with what you say. Why are you smiling? I'm just saying.
I'm smiling.
Because when it comes to agri, I'm maybe biased. The truth of the matter is, this is the way to go. But then does the system allow for this kind of farming? Land tenure systems and all that. Meanwhile, we have arable lands that can allow for this. So, yes, if we're going to go into mechanized large-scale commercial farming, why not? That's the way to go, where we apply needed technology to boost the growth and development of the sector. Why not? He said along the White Water, especially in northern Ghana, there was availability of vast land that could be used for large-scale farming to show up the nation's food basket, just like Ima just said. So, yeah, if you travel along those stretches, sometimes you look at the land and you're like, wow, this country should not be importing food.
Yeah.
Not at all. No, not at all.
But are you not, don't you feel bad we import food?
Don't I feel bad we
import food?
I mean, for me, for everything that would make it fit sufficient and not having to depend
there are some things that
on other countries.
That I can understand. We are not known for technology, software. We are not known for that. And so if we are importing equipment for things like if we are importing bulldozers, combined harvesters for agriculture production, I can understand that. But for us to import tomatoes, oh, Bolly.
Now why are you talking? Please, I beg.
No, you go to the market, so you know the price.
No, so that's what I'm saying.
It touches you more than it touches me.
It should touch you more too.
No.
Things are actually wild when you go to the market, because you buy something today, you go the next day with your budget, and then like you cannot afford it.
So in such situation, what do you do?
Oh, buy what you can and go home.
That's that. Buy what you can and go home. It's 6:49. In a minute's time, he'll be here. He's already here.
Okay, but then...
yes, you were saying something.
Oh, no.
The presidential...
Yeah, the accident.
Yeah, please touch on it.
So yesterday we had... there were reports first that the president's convoy had been involved in an accident. And then I think an hour later, the Jubilee House released a statement. And in the statement, it did confirm that there was an accident involving the presidential convoy at Bunsu Junction. Yeah. One driver whose name has been given as Kwesi Atta has unfortunately passed on, and there were other injuries who were being treated at the Suhum Government Hospital, but then they'd be transferred to
UGMC?
Yes, Accra for further treatment. It's actually really sad. And when I saw the story, I was just thinking, wow, Bunsu Junction, I don't know if you've been there, and you know, and I was like, all the times I've been to Kumasi and I've come back, it really is just great, like Jerry was saying. But it's such a sad thing to happen.
Anyway, we'll touch on that in the second half of the show to see what really is causing these things. It's 6:50. Zed Sports coming up right after this. Yeah, it was an interesting. The EPL ended. The man is here. Nia Kwe, the sportscaster. Don't talk about anything else.
Oh no, we just. Are you an Arsenal fan too?
No, I'm not.
No, we come from a white.
Yeah,
please.
I'm as white as.
I'm so going to leave you guys here. Bye bye.
All right, okay. Enjoy the rest of the morning. We'll be seeing more of you. Nia Kwe, the sportscaster, coming up next with Zed Sports.
Here's Mensah. This is positive. Williams. Kudos. The Korean joy did not last for long.
Oh my gosh, Kudus, the piranha from Guyana.
And so we're right on time. It's 6:51 exactly, and it's time for Zed Sports. All right, so like I said, top of the morning to you if you're just joining us. It's time for Zed Sports. My name is Niakwe, the sportscaster. It's a Monday edition, obviously loaded. And our headlines this morning: Brekum Chelsea come from behind to beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko, whilst Hearts of Oak fought with Vienna Stars in the Ghana Premier League. Manchester City win to claim a fourth consecutive Premier League title, unprecedented, unparalleled, and now a record not to be beaten. In the world of boxing, Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury to win a very historic, undisputed heavyweight championship fight. It's a packed edition, and we jet off straight away from the local front. Brekum Chelsea came from a goal down to end Asante Kotoko's unbeaten run in the Ghana Premier League on Saturday. Mizake Friye scored a late winner to put a halt to the Porcupine Warriors' 3-game unbeaten run. The Kotoko head coach Prosper Nateogum spoke to the press after the game.
Yeah, I think we played well. We had our chances in the first half that we could have gone up by 3 goals or even more. But then we couldn't take our chances, and then they came back, and then they got our penalty, and then the second goal. Yeah, we deserve to have won this game. We played better. We created some few decent chances that we could have taken our chances. But you saw it. I don't want to mention that person's name. Intimidation. That is it. Yeah. I think Zeze's injury was a big blow to us because he's played in that position for some time now. he's gotten the experience, he's gotten the composure. But then, because he had to go out, we had to do a forced tactical substitution, and which I think we're able to keep the tempo. But then somewhere along the line, we couldn't maintain it.
Big game in the Ghana Premier League. Brekum Chelsea head coach Samuel Boadu expressed how excited he was to lead his team to a 2-1 win over Kotoko. He poured out his emotions in his post-game presser after his side stunned the Porcupine Warriors at home.
Yeah. I'd like to say that because it is not easy. As you compare what I've went through since I came here and winning the Kotoko, I know it's a plus, and I'm really happy for that. Exactly. This is what I was expecting. But we thank God for this winning, and I'll thank the players as well because they comport themselves and they fought for this win. So I'll give thanks to the players and the supporters as well. Yeah, no, I knew definitely that I'll come back. I know that I'll come back because I know myself, me and Kotoko, and the players as well. So we know that definitely at the end of the 90 minutes, yeah, we're gonna take the win.
All right, so Hearts of Oak on the other side of the divide suffered another home defeat, this time at the hands of Adriana Stars as they failed to capitalize on their previous win in the league. A lone goal from Kelvin Obin powered Adriana to a 1-0 victory at the Accra Sports Stadium yesterday. Hearts coach Abubakar Ouattara was not a happy man after the game.
We are playing badly. We don't have any motivation today. I don't understand what happened. Very disastrous. Disappointed completely. The key players who come out for nothing. All the plans are down. It's very difficult, but these boys, I can't understand them. Today you are good, tomorrow you are bad. I don't understand what happened. But today is very bad game. I don't have anything to say. Very bad game. We played 90 minutes without any shoot on the goalkeeper. One shoot. I'm not happy, to be serious. I'm not happy. I don't understand. I'll ask the medical team. That's because I don't understand. We train well, all this morning we are well, everything is okay. We come on there. I think something, the players, it disappointed me today.
All right, so an unhappy Ouattara speaking to the press after the game. We flip to the international front, starting off with Jurgen Klopp and his Liverpool team. He has confirmed Arne Slot will replace him at Liverpool as he implored the supporters to get firmly behind the new manager next season. Klopp's side ended their Premier League campaign with a 2-0 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers thanks to first half goals from Alexis McAllister and Jarrell Kwanzaa yesterday.
Change is good, and just you never know exactly what to expect, but if you go with the right attitude into that, then everything will be fine, because the basics are 100% there, and that's there, the team, and that's the new coach, manager. And you give back what I want you to sing. I know, but I have an idea. I heard the song today a few times, and you can do that. I have no problem with that. Let's see how the response will be.
And it was joy, euphoria, elation in Manchester. Well, the blue half of Manchester. Congratulations are in order. Manchester City winning the league for a fourth consecutive time. The 6th time in 7 years and the 8th overall championship, top flight championship for the citizens. Pep Guardiola obviously was moved to tears after hearing Jurgen Klopp's comments about him. The two managers had engaged in a fierce rivalry over 5 years, reigniting their Bundesliga competition in the Premier League. Pep Guardiola spoke to the press.
I will miss him a lot. Jurgen has been a real part important in my life. He brought me another level as a manager. I think we respect each other incredibly. I had the feeling that he will be back. I just want to say thank you so much for his words. But he knows perfectly that behind me there are a lot of things that this club provide me and give it to me.
Simple and short, a very healthy competition for Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. Moving on to our next story. Bayer Leverkusen boss Xabi Alonso says he will never forget the moment his side were crowned Bundesliga champions. Alonso gave an emotional interview about Leverkusen's achievements this season after his side won their final Bundesliga game and capped off an unbeaten domestic campaign.
At the moment, it's difficult to put into words because the achievement is so big, it's so meaningful to us. For me, especially, I'm really proud. For me, it was the next challenge. 5 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, when we beat Bremen, I had that in my mind. We need to make it even bigger, this Bundesliga, and I knew what it meant. That, and the guys, they have been pushing and they have been, giving, not resting in the laurels, but they have been pushing and they have been preparing, and I'm really, really proud of what we have achieved, really proud and thankful for the guys, for the players, because for sure we will remember, but football fans, they will remember, and we have our place in Bundesliga history.
All right, so a third title for Bayer Leverkusen, their first ever top flight league title. And what a run it was, unbeaten in all competitions, over 50 games. Xabi Alonso, the man of the moment. Our final story takes us to the world of boxing, where Tyson Fury voiced his dismay after suffering the first defeat of his career by split decision to Alexander Usyk in their undisputed world heavyweight title fight. The British star's WBC title was ripped away by Usyk, who added it to his WBA, IBF and WBO belts after he sent Fury toppling in the ropes for a standing count that sealed victory with the scores of 1-1-5 to 1-1-2, 1-1-3 to 1-1-4 and 1-1-4 to 1-1-3 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
You know what, I just want to say thank you to God, in the mighty name of Jesus. We put on a good fight for the fans. You know, I always say it's about getting paid and getting laid. We did that tonight. I thank Alexander for the good fight. It was a close fight, you know. I believed, like, I thought I did enough, but, you know, I'm not a judge. I can't judge a fight while I'm boxing it. You know, if they would have said to me in the last round or whatever, you're down, go out and try and finish him, I would have done that. But we believe, everyone in the corner believed we were up. You know, all I had to do was just keep boxing and doing what I was doing, and, you know, I thought we was getting it. But it was what it was. I'm not going to cry about spilled milk. I've had plenty of victories, and I've gave God the glory. I've had this one loss and a close fight, you know, with a good man like Usyk. And it was what it was. I tried my best in there. I was having a lot of fun, actually. I don't know if it looked like it, but I was playing around, hands behind my back. I was enjoying it. You know, he's a good fighter, Alexander, and I was catching him and he was catching me, and it was a good fight. So hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Getting punched in the face.
All right, so that was Tyson Fury speaking after his first ever defeat to none other than a giant, somebody who swept the cruiserweight division and now takes his record to 22 wins, 0 losses and 0 draws. Alexander Usyk got emotional following his victory over Tyson Fury as he spoke about how much he misses having his late father by his side when boxing. Previously an undisputed champion at the cruiserweight level, he became the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in 25 years when he defeated Fury on a split decision yesterday night in Riyadh.
I miss my father. I say my father, hey, listen, you live that, I live here, please. No coming for me. I love you. For me, hard when my father coming for me, because I remember all my life. He's here. Maybe like after.
And that brings us to a close of the Z Sports segment. The business segment is coming up next. My name is Niakwe, the sportscaster. I'll be with you tomorrow to delve more into many of these stories. Until then, it's a brand new week. Remember, the message always simple but relevant. Do not count the days, whatever happens. Make the days count.
Here's Mensah, this is positive. Williams, Kudos, a Korean joy did not last for long. Martinez,
my gosh, kudos, Mapavana from Guyana.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Hello and thank you for staying tuned to Zed in the Morning. It is time for business. Coming up, GSE woos more mining firms to list on exchange after Atlantic Lithium listing. UNDP launches initiative to empower Ghanaian MSMEs. And on the international front, trade wars continue as China hits back at US and EU as trade rows deepen. I am Saka Abdullahi. Let's delve in. Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Ms. Abena Amwa, has described the recent listing of Atlantic Lithium as a landmark one in West Africa and urged more listings from other mining companies in Ghana. In an interview with CNBC Africa, Ms. Amwa described the listing of Atlantic Lithium on the GSE as a viable move that should encourage others on the African continent to emulate.
It is a phenomenal and a landmark listing for us. Working with our regulators, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Minerals Commission, the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, we are promoting a requirement for many of the mining companies to come to the market and give opportunities for Ghanaians just to partake in their capital raises, to be educated about mining as an asset class, and to list their securities on the market as we grow our capital markets. And so Atlantic Lithium's listing for us is phenomenal in the sense that it's taken up this objective. We work very hard with their leadership to make sure this happens in record time and in fact ahead of the deadline that's been given us. The next stage is for the company is to get parliamentary approval and start building out the mine. For us, it's a phenomenal day, and as I told everyone that listened, this opportunity Atlantic has given Ghanaian investors, other African investors, means that they can trade in Atlantic's shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and we are seeing interest in that. Again, this company is the first lithium or green minerals we believe to be listed in West Africa, as many companies are looking for diversifying their portfolios to include ESG products. This becomes a viable opportunity for investors to look at.
Now, Ms. Amwa disclosed further that the listing and the exchange recent launch of the commercial paper market is part of the implementation of its 10-year capital market development plan.
All of what we're doing is part of the implementation of our 10-year capital market development plan led by our SEC. And one of the key pillars, of course, was to diversify our product base, give investors more options, educate them around a whole range of products. And another key pillar, of course, is on the demutualization of the Ghana Stock Exchange. And I'm very happy to again update viewers that we're making significant progress on that this year, and we will implement demutualization as the key strategic initiative of the exchange this year. All stakeholders are on board, formed a demutualization committee that is expanded to include the prescribed subscribers, the listed companies, the independents, to ensure that all stakeholders' interests are adequately covered. And this year, the key strategic objective for the exchange is to implement demutualization.
That was the Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Ms. Abena Amwa. Moving on, the United Nations Development Programme has launched an innovative initiative dubbed MSMEs Nimdia Series. It is designed to support the growth and sustainability of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in Ghana. This initiative aims to empower entrepreneurs with resources, skills, and knowledge needed to thrive in today's competitive markets. Named after the Akan word Nimdia, meaning knowledge, the MSMEs Nimdia series is designed to increase the knowledge of businesses in key areas such as branding, business planning, marketing, financial management, and digital transformation, ensuring that MSMEs have the tools and expertise needed to be successful and resilient. Now, the UNDP in a statement said it recognized the pivotal role that MSMEs play in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities. Onto the financial market, the government successfully raised 3.1 billion Ghana cedis, surpassing its target of 3.19 billion Ghana cedis. Yields on the short end of the maturity profile continue on their downward trend, leading to a decline in treasury bills. Meanwhile, the cedi further depreciated against the three major trading currencies. However, the stock market showed positive movement with an increase in the performance of its index. Shares worth 329.4 million Ghana cedis were exchanged. Now, Tesla Capital brings you an in-depth analysis of the performance of the financial markets for the last week.
Welcome to a recap of the markets, brought to you by Tesla Capital Limited. During the review period, demand for treasury bills declined as compared to the previous week's auction. However, the government raised 3.21 billion cedis, surpassing the target of 3.19 billion and reflecting an oversubscription rate of 0.79%. All bids submitted for the 91-day, 182-day, and 364-day treasury bills were accepted in last Friday's auction. Yields continue their downward trend on the short end of the maturity profile. The initial pricing guidance initiative for treasury bill auctions keep yielding results, and the 91-day bill declined by 10 basis points to clear at 25.10%, while the 182-day and the 364-day bills dipped by 5 basis points to clear at 26.95% and 27.95% respectively. Trading volumes on the GIFM increased by 258% to 2.6 billion cedis in the just ended week. Treasury bills dominated trading activity, accounting for 70.26% of the total volume traded. The Ghana cedi weakened further in the week under review against the USD, GBP and the Euro. The cedi depreciated by 0.85%, 2.34% and 1.77% against the USD, GBP and the Euro respectively. The cedi closed the week trading at mid-rates of 13 cedis 80 pesos to the dollar, 17 cedis 52 pesos to the pound and 14 cedis 99 pesos to the euro. Indicatives from the open market revealed that the cedi closed at a mid-rate of 14 cedis 15 pesos to the dollar, 17 cedis 90 pesos to the pound and 15 cedis and 46 pesos to the euro. The Ghanaian stock market witnessed an increase in the performance of its stock index during the week under review. The GSE Composite Index increased by 2.70% as gains in MTN Ghana, GLD, GCB and Total and the introduction of the entrant ALGH boosted the index level. The index closed the week at 3,744.97 points with a 19.64% year-to-date return. Market activity, as indicated by traded volumes, witnessed a significant upsurge during this period. Total of 224,869,539 shares valued at 329.4 million cedis were exchanged, reflecting a remarkable 5,120.52% increase in traded volume as compared to the previous week. We expect the financial stocks and the ICT market to drive the performance of the index in the week ahead. This brings our review to an end, and from all of us at Tesla Capital, make it a great day. Visit us online at teslacapital.com or call us on 050-154-6859 for more information. Tesla Capital, grow your wealth.
That update was from Tesla Capital, a leading financial institution in Ghana. Now, in international business, China has launched an anti-dumping probe into imports of a widely used plastic from the US, EU, Taiwan, and Japan. The announcement from the Ministry of Commerce that imports of polyoxymethylene copolymer, which is used in electronics and cars, is a signal that China will hit back in its trade disputes with the US and Europe. The announcement comes as China's trade rows with the US and the EU have deepened in recent months. Less than a week ago, Washington sharply increased tariffs on Chinese goods, including electric vehicles, solar panels, and computer chips. The new US move also expanded on sweeping border taxes that were imposed on Chinese goods under the Trump administration. In response, China's Commerce Ministry said the new moves would severely affect the atmosphere for bilateral cooperation and criticized that it is characterized as the politicization of economic issues. Ahead of the heavily trailed White House announcement, a spokesperson for China's foreign ministry said it would take all necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests, Separately, on Monday, China sanctioned 3 American defense firms over their sales of weapons to Taiwan, state media said. The announcement that General Atomics Aeronautical Systems, General Dynamics Land Systems, and Boeing Defense Space and Security are barred from import and export businesses in China came as the self-ruled island inaugurated a new president. Senior executives of all 3 companies are banned from entering, working, or living in China, the Commerce Ministry said. That is all we have for the business news segment this morning. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. GSE woos more mining firms to list on the exchange after Atlantic Lithium listing. UNDP launches initiative to empower Ghana MSMEs. And on the international front, China hits back at US and EU as trade rows deepen. I am Saka Abdullah. Jerry Ham continues with Zed in the Morning.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Yeah, you come to the second hour of the show. It's 7:15. Before I go into any announcement, there's a big birthday here I need to do. Yeah, it's a big one. Happy big 60th birthday to the best dad in the world, Mr. Eric Okai Ado, aka So Makosa. God bless you for the love and care you've shown us. May all your heart desires be fulfilled, and may God continue to protect you and fill your heart with joy and happiness. We love you from your family. So Mr. Eric Okai Ado, aka So Makosa, that's coming from your family, especially from Victor Ado, my boss.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Yeah, definitely your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Enjoy the best shows on lifestyle, leisure, and business right here on Z101.9 FM. Right here every Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. Keep your dial locked here because Pastor Joshua Neste comes your way with Morning Blessings. Morning Blessings with Pastor Joshua Neste is Mondays to Fridays, 5 a.m. So let that be the way you start your work week, because at 5 a.m. he starts you right in the presence of God. He brings you to 5:30 where Dr. Mensa Otabil takes over with the living word. It's 5:30 a.m. daily, Mondays to Fridays, right here on Z 101.9 FM. Then also at 8 and exactly 5:55, Living Word ends and then I take over. Yes, yours truly comes in with Zed in the Morning all through to 9:55, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is NYA the brand. She comes your way with the brighter side. This and every Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. NYA the brand, the brighter side. Then on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., right after NYA's program on Tuesdays, I have a story to tell with Honorable Fritz before he comes your way with the show title, I Have a Story to Tell. He's interviewing some amazing people. You need to tune in. Tuesdays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I have a story to tell. Then also, Highway 1019 is a drive that puts a smile on your face after a hard day's work. Highway 1019 is hosted by Ofrioyo and also Ngozi Boateng, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
101.9 FM.
Your weekends are also sorted out right here on Zed 101.9 FM, because every Saturday at 8 a.m. Professor Stephen Adai comes your way with Time with Professor Stephen Adai, and the theme is Abundant Living. Zed 101.9 FM. Yes, we have the men. You want to tune into the great man, share words of wisdom that will put some abundance in your life. And then on Sundays right here on Z 101.9 FM, DDM David Aquamensa comes your way with Z Gospel Groove from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Z Gospel Groove right here on Z 101.9 FM. Then right after his show on Sundays, the man they call the legend, the king of country, undisputed champion of country music, Tommy Adam Folsom comes your way with Country Express, Sundays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then also he's here on Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Ever imagine a place that is so in sync with your lifestyle? Close your eyes and just dream away. Dream of that place. Dream of that location. Dream of that serene atmosphere. Dream of those tree-lined streets as you gaze upon the beauty of the Bree Mountains. I'm giving you an idea of a place that truly exists. It truly is. This is not a movie. It truly exists, and it exists right here in this very country. Your number one leading real estate company of the year, Lakeside Estate, is giving you the golden opportunity to become a homeowner at the Lakeside Hills. Yes, so what I describe is the Lakeside Hills, a serene atmosphere, a place so safe and secure. You get a sense of calm and ease, fostering a family-friendly neighborhood. They offer various types of houses, so definitely call them, and you would have your own. There are 2 bedrooms detached standard. They have also 2-bedroom detached deluxe. They have 3 bedrooms detached. They have 3 bedrooms detached with boys' quarters and a 4-bedroom story executive. These are all there just for you. So to book a viewing and sales assistance, call these numbers: 0204 775 040, 0204 775 040, or 0501 418 622, 0501 418 622. Then the last number you want to call is 020 477 5042, 020 477 5042. Call Lakeside Estates, or you can visit lakesideestates.com, or you can just go to their social media pages. Their handle is at lakeside_estate for more details. Life is beautiful at Lakeside Hills. Lakeside Hills, where you can live your best life. So this is brought to you by Lakeside Estates, your 3 times winner of the CIMG Real Estate Company Award and the Greater Overall Real Estate Company of the Year 2023. So yes, call Lakeside Estates right away.
In the heart of Accra, nestled in the vibrant neighborhood of East Legon and New Beacon, a 360 multimedia firm has emerged. Introducing Zed Multimedia. With a steadfast focus on lifestyle, leisure, and business, we set out to bring high-value oriented programs that captivate the taste and desires of our audience. From the captivating airwaves of Zed 101.9 FM to the dynamic visuals of Zed TV and the innovative realms of Zed Digital and the incubation of advanced technological knowledge at Z Tech, every facet of modern media is meticulously curated to engage and inspire. Also, let's not forget the new Finder newspaper, now under the Z Multimedia umbrella, delivering insightful journalism with a business focus. Join us on the journey where innovation meets inspiration, where lifestyle meets leisure, and where business thrives. Change is here. Z Multimedia, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform.
but this weekend wasn't the very best in terms of lives. Like I keep saying, one Ghanaian life lost is one life too many. Yeah, and so we heard of the tragedy that struck along the Bonsu the highway stretch. You understand the challenges that we face on our roads. Everybody talks about it, but seems that much is not done about these things. The Bonsu Achimasafu stretch of the Accra Kumasi highway on Sunday, several vehicles in the president's convoy were involved in a fatal accident. And the convoy was returning from Kumasi after accompanying President Nana Akufo-Addo for a series of weekend events. And in a statement released by Eugene Ahin, who is the Director of Communications at the Office of the President, one person passed away. Let me read the full statement for you. President Akufo-Addo's convoy involved in fatal accident on Accra Kumasi Highway, dated 19th May 2024. On Sunday, 19th May 2024, several vehicles belonging to the president's convoy were involved in a fatal accident along the Bonsu Achims Asafu stretch of the Accra Kumasi Highway. The unfortunate incident occurred whilst the convoy was on its way back from Kumasi after accompanying the president to Kumasi for a series of events this weekend. Tragically, one of the drivers, Mr. Kwesi Atta, has lost his life. Additionally, several close protection and police officers from the president's security detail have sustained varying degrees of injuries and received initial treatment at the Suhum Government Hospital. The injured persons are currently being evacuated to the University of Ghana Medical Center for further treatment and observation. Several vehicles in the convoy have also been completely wrecked as a result of the accident. Fortunately, the president is safe and unharmed as he traveled to Accra via military aircraft. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the deceased, and we wish a speedy recovery to the injured officers. Further details will be communicated as we continue to assess the situation. We appreciate your understanding and support during this difficult time. This is signed by Eugene Hain, Director of Communications, Office of the President.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
So that was one tragedy. Then another followed. Sadly so, that also resulted in a loss of life. So let me just read the story from our newsroom. Several residents rendered homeless in fire explosion that killed 2 and left 14 with life-threatening injuries in the western region. And they said several residents in the Ingresia fishing community in the Sikado Ketan constituency in the western region have been rendered homeless after a fire explosion in the area. The explosion occurred on Saturday after a barrel containing premixed fuel burst while being rolled on the ground by the fishermen. 2 people have so far been confirmed dead, while 2 of the injured persons have been transferred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. 12 others who sustained various degrees of injuries are being treated at the Fiankwanta Regional Hospital and the St. Benedict Hospital. That is also one of the stories. I mean, these things are not things that are not unavoidable. They are unavoidable. They cannot say that. We cannot say that because they are really, really avoidable. But hey, what do we have? This is the Ghana that we have. We joke with certain things. We're not serious about certain things like that, and people end up losing their lives. Okay, so we have on the line a journalist in the community, Benjamin Bray, and want to talk to Benjamin and find out what really transpired and what is the latest situation concerning this situation at Isikado. Good morning, Mr. Bray.
Good morning, boss.
My brother, how are you this morning?
I'm good, and you?
By the grace, the same grace sustains us. Benjamin, tell us, what is your understanding of what really transpired in this community over the weekend?
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. What transpired over the weekend at Injesia, a fishing community in the Isikado Ketem constituency in the western region, was that some fishermen, according to the chief over there, Nana Loko Ajiman III, went to Sekendi, a nearby community, to purchase a premise fuel. Now, after purchasing the premise fuel, they went back to the Injector community, they have a certain point where when they purchase the premise fuel in a drum or a barrel, they cannot carry the barrel to the fishing area. So what they do is, after reaching the point, they have to roll the barrel in the process to the fishing area. So according to the chief, when the fishermen were in the process of rolling the barrel filled with premise fuel, the barrel got busted and the premise fuel inside the barrel got spilled on the road where some of the residents were residing. So according to him, there was a certain structure, a wooden structure, where a woman or someone was cooking on fire. So when the premise fuel reached that destination, it got in touch with the fire and the place exploded. So in all, about 16 people got injured, where 13 of them were transferred or transported to Efiam Kwanta Regional Hospital in Sekindi, and the other 3 was also transported to St. Benedict's Hospital in the Shama district, precisely in Chaban. Currently, as we speak now, 2 of the victims, aged 15 years and 7 years, have passed on, where another 2 of the victims have been transported to or transferred to Kolebu Teaching Hospital for further treatment. The other victims at the Efiam Kwanta and Benedict Hospital are receiving treatment as we speak now. But speaking or in a conversation with the assembly member for Mempiasam Injesia electoral area, that is Honorable Gabriel Ato Mensah, he also was of the view that there was a little girl in the area called Chewa who does not like to be teased by the residents. But on that fateful day, Saturday, at Injesia, some young girls teased the lady called Chewa. So Chewa, picked a stone from the ground and gauging the little girls. Unfortunately for her, the stone hit the barrel filled with premise fuel dumped at the junction where it was supposed to be rolled to the fishing area. Now, according to the assembly member, Gabriel Ato Mensah, his checks indicate that the premise fuel or the barrel has been used for years or ages. So it has been thrown, and any hard material that hits the barrel, it will burst. That led to the spillage of the premise fuel.
That's very sad. But this community, what kind of community is it? Could you give us an idea of the socioeconomic status of this community?
Okay, when we talk about Injesian community in the Esikado Katan constituency, it's a fishing community. What they do is fishing, nothing else. Okay,
Benjamin, this very issue that you're reporting to us, are we saying that it was the norm that the barrels were always rolled from whatever point to wherever point they were taken? It was a norm that it was always rolled. Is that what we are saying?
Yes, the barrel is normally rolled from that junction to the fishing area because they cannot carry the apart from the gallons. As for the gallons filled with the premise fuel, they can carry it to the fishing area, but the barrel they cannot carry when it is being filled with premise fuel.
The Ghana National Fire Service is always warned about these things. Are we saying that this community, what is the closest fire station to this community, and they are not aware of the dangers of transporting premix in such a way?
Now, for Western Regional Ghana National Fire Service Command, they have been trying their best to educate such communities when it comes to such a situation, example, fire outbreaks. But looking at where the community is located and the Ghana National Fire Service, there is a vast distance between them. But as we spoke to the assembly member yesterday, he commended the Western Regional Ghana National Fire Service for their proactive, on-time duty when they were called. So if it was not the Ghana National Fire Service personnel, the issue of the explosion would have been worse, because and where the incident happened, there are wooden structures, and some of the fishermen have stored premise fuel in gallons at where they are sleeping. Some of them, they sleep closer to the sea, where they have their wooden structures. So the issue of or the issue circulating on social media that the incident happened at a premise depot is never true. It's never true. The fishermen went to Sekeli and purchased the fuel, the premise fuel, and when they brought it to the destination, and this issue happened.
Of those that are injured, how many are there? How many are they that are the fishermen themselves?
For that, I cannot tell. But as I said, 15 years and a 7-year-old boys have passed away. They are elderly people, but I cannot tell how many are fishermen.
Okay, we have it on report that the STMA has donated some money for the cure. I mean, for the injured. Can you confirm that? This is such a sad story. Can you confirm if the MA has given something like that?
I heard it, or I saw it on social media yesterday, but I have not spoken with the STMA authorities if they have duly donated such an amount for the victims. But I also heard, it is unconfirmed, that the parliamentary candidate for Isikado Katan constituency on the ticket of National Democratic Congress, that is Dr. Professor Grace Ayensi Dankwa, has also donated an amount of 4,000 Ghana cedis. But when the issue happened on Saturday, Dr. Grace Ayensi Dankwa, being a surgeon or health professional, also helped the doctors at St. Benedict Hospital in treating the victims who were injured.
Oh, she personally went into the ward to look after to help.
Yes, because she's a surgeon, that is a qualified health professional.
Interesting. Do you have any idea what the community is like this morning? Can you paint a picture of what is happening in the community this morning?
The community is in sober, and most of them are currently at the two hospitals where some of the victims are still receiving treatment from the health professionals.
That's quite unfortunate. Benjamin Brick, thank you so much for bringing us this report right here on Zed 101.9 FM. Any other updates that we've not picked up, please, along the way, we'll be calling you to confirm. Anything you hear too, please let us know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Always sad when we lose Ghanaians in such tragic circumstances. And when it is fire, it's much more devastating. We pray for speedy recovery for those who are receiving treatment, and for those two that have passed away, may their souls rest in peace. We'll try and get on the line the second D Takrady Metropolitan NADMO Director, Mr. James Obin, to find out what transpired and what NADMO is doing about this very story.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
The issue of premix is something that is so dicey. It's such a dicey issue, and I know for years now the Ghana National Fire Service has been stepping up intensive fire safety education campaigns for especially fishermen on safe handling of premix. These things have been causing a lot of distraction. So I know for a fact that the Ghana National Fire Service had been doing a lot of education in this area because of the occurrences of recent fire outbreaks resulting from improper handling of premix fuel, which has been causing a lot of distraction. And so it is against that backdrop that is why I'm a bit frustrated this morning, that a lot of fishing communities have been taught, they've been educated, they've been empowered on basic fire safety tips to get them to familiarize themselves with innovative fire prevention measures, just so that these persistent fire outbreaks and all these disasters are drastically reduced. So to hear something like this happening again in this time, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. And you know, Ghanaians, I always say it, we continue to joke with our lives. We continue to do things that, as you know, if it goes wrong and if it goes down south, it will be very disastrous, like we're just having right now. It's important that we drum home the essence of fire safety. We cannot downplay good fire safety precautions and practices, even at home, and then especially for those who are handling very, very, very sensitive material. After Apiachi, should things like this be happening? Think about it. After Apiachi, should things like this be happening in this beautiful country of ours? It's just sad, but it is what has happened. We're trying to raise the STMA, the Secondary Takoradi and Metropolitan Authorities, and not mobiles, just to find out what really transpired. Thankfully, we have Mr. James Obin, who is the Secondary Takoradi Metro NADMO Director on the line, and we want to find out what is happening. Good morning, Mr. Obin.
Good morning, sir.
It's a privilege having you on our show this morning. So please, what is your understanding of what transpired in the community, and what is the latest concerning it?
Thank you very much for having me and giving me the opportunity to speak on this big platform. Now, on that was Saturday, which was 18th of May, this Saturday, around 4 to 5 p.m., we had a distress call from the district police commander about a disaster that has happened at Injesia, a suburb of Secondary Takoradi. So it was very late in the night, around 8 o'clock in the evening, that I had that information. So quickly, we have to move in. There is information, we have to go to the hospital first. So we went to Efiem Kwanta Hospital and saw some of the victims who were affected by the disaster. Then we proceed also to another hospital, that's Benedict Hospital, which also is within the Secondary Takoradi, to also look at some of the victims. So the morning of Sunday, we went to the disaster scene. So the information we gathered is that one fisherman went to the Bosom Trisam fishing harbor, that's the Secondary fishing harbor, to buy premise, and decided to transport it to Injesia for fishing expedition. Normally, when they buy it in bigger drums, or we call these jerrycan drums, the big ones. Normally, you see them in blue color. So he brought this to Injesia. And Injesia, the fishing community or the shore is lower from the road, the main road. So he decided to get it out of the vehicle. Then it got out of his hand and fell on the ground. Then this jerrycan burst. Then the fuel spilled over to the fishing communities at the shore. And we didn't know where it actually had contact with the fire. Then it started burning some of the structures along within the shore. So the people around that time decided to extinguish the fire by using sand and seawater and those things. So in the process, 16 people were affected, various degree of injuries. So as I said earlier, 18 of them were sent to the Kwanta, 3 were sent to the Benedict Hospital. An unfortunate event that happened yesterday was that 2 of them have passed on. 2 young children, one 7-year-old and the other, that is 15-year-old, passed on yesterday. 2 of them were also at the ICU unit of Efim Kwanta yesterday evening when we went there again. But to us as an assembly and not more, the MC himself was there that night. So he made a pledge that the medical bills will be borne by the assembly. Then the MPs or the PCs for the area, the Iskari constituency, the Honorable Charles Bisi was also there. After he went for a funeral at Kumasi, he quickly ran down to his constituency to visit the injured. So he has also been there, and this morning he's also going there again to sympathize with the bereaved family. So this is what happened. And the situation, as I speak to you now, I'm also on my way to the hospital to find out the situation about those 2 who are in the ICU. So this is what happened on Saturday, on the 18th of May in Iskadu Keten, precisely in JCN.
That's quite unfortunate. So the source of the spillage, have we been able to confirm if it was the jerry cans that burst upon hitting the ground, or that story that said that a little girl or a girl threw a stone that caused the jerry can to burst? What is the true story?
It's not true. It's the jerry can that got out of his hand. He was trying to lift it from the car. Then when they lift it from the car, they normally roll it onto the shore. But unfortunately, it got out of his hand and hit the ground and get burst. So if you look at the area where the jerry can got burst, it's a very sharp slope area with concrete staircase. So the flow was very swift onto the shore. Fortunately, unfortunately, that place used to be one of the busiest entry points into to the shore. So there were a lot of people around that area. And their action was to prevent the fire from spreading. So they have to apply seawater, sand, and all of the other things to make sure that the fire doesn't spread to other structures. So in so doing, that's where people were affected. And when you come to our fishing community, most of the dresses that they wear are these nylon dresses. So some of them were caught by the fire caught into their dresses, or the fire got in contact with their dresses. It was difficult for them. So we can see that most of the injuries are the legs, the face, the hands, and other things. And those that for me, I'm not a medical officer, but I can say that those that are in critical condition are those who could not be able to remove the dress that they were wearing. They had a severe burn.
What is NADMO doing about this now? What is NADMO doing aside your personal visit?
In fact, this is not the first time this has happened in the Sekendi Takrady. I think 2 years or so back, and then similar premise incident happened at the Sekendi Harbour, or Sekendi Fishing Harbour, close to Sekendi Naval Base, which of course I don't want to remind the family. One lost his life, and one was seriously injured. So we sat down and came up with a plan to see how the premise at the point of dispensing to the point of putting them in the canoe or whatever, the boats or whatever, we actually fashion out something to help the fishermen to be able to transport because mostly where they buy the fuel are not close to where they want to dispense into their canoe or their boats. So normally they have to transport them by cars. Sometimes they have to roll them on the shore to where they want to finalize. So we were trying to fashion out something that would be more safety with regard to its transportation, the point of sale to the final point of getting it into their canoes or their boats. But we couldn't end this, and this one has also happened. So I think we need to revisit our technical this thing again and see how best we can complete that plan for them. The best is to get a proper plan of handling from the sale point to the final destination. There should be some kind of mechanism, and the safety measures should be put in place to safeguard the transportation of these premiums from the sale point to the final destination.
What about education? Because I knew that the Ghana National Fire Service had been doing some intensive, very, very intensive training along those stretches in terms of fishermen and all that. Those intensive trainings, didn't any get to this very community?
No. We've done, we in collaboration with Fire Service, Marine Police, have done a lot of engagement and education with these communities within our secondary Takra, that's our area of operation. So that we have the NJC, we have the secondary, we have the new Takra. These are our areas that we have the fishing communities. We have 3. And I can tell you for sure that the Ghana National Fire Service, the NADMO, and Marine Police have done a lot of education. The fishermen themselves, you go there, they will attest that yes, there have been constant education with them and all these things. But human as we are, people always want to find the traditional way of doing things than looking for the new methods of handling some of these fuel or these petroleum products. But we still have to continue and put measures in place and make sure that those measures are adhered to. That will help. But if you leave it to them, they will still go by their local or their traditional way of doing things, which of course will not help.
So the one who caused it, what is the person's situation and what are you going to do about it?
Yes, yesterday what occurred to me is that the one who was actually handling it and had this problem, I have not been able to even identify him, but today I have to look for the guy. Because I've not, among the injured, I have not heard his name popping up as this is the one who was handling it. So we are yet to find out whether he's around or not. Because once there were injured people, our attention was on the injured people and not any other thing. But now that there's a little stability in terms of their health and those things, we look out for the guy.
And if he's found, what will happen if he's found?
Well, that one I cannot say now for now. But I think once it's an accident, the police will have to take over and continue the investigation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. James Obin is the secondary Takrady Metro NADMO boss. Thank you so much. So that's it for Top Story. Very sad. We don't take things seriously in this country, and we should. Lives are being lost for very avoidable, very, very avoidable causes. It's 7:55. Coming up is Business Briefs right here on Zed in the Morning. Yeah, it's Business Briefs right here on Zed in the Morning. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio brings you Business Briefs this and every Monday to Friday. It happens at 7:55. So you want to keep your dial here. It's a mini MBA on wheels. The whole of the last week we've been talking about marketing. We said, you remember when we started a month ago, we spoke about bringing value into the market. Then we spoke about what experts call the most important business skill, which was networking. Then last week we tackled marketing. Today we're continuing the marketing conversation. You remember some of the things we spoke about how your art or your marketing message should be remarkable. It should be able to attract the necessary attention and all that. So yes, today we continue with the marketing discussion. Do you know your probable purchaser? Yes. You listening to me, you businessman, you small businessman, big businessman, you conglomerate chief executive or you one-man business, do you know your probable purchaser? What is a probable purchaser? Your probable purchaser is the person who is perfectly suited to what you're offering, right? If it was in advertising, they would say your ideal target or whatever the name they'll call, but who is your probable purchaser? Skilled marketers don't try to get everyone's attention. They focus on getting the attention of the right people at the right time. So you don't want to be all things to all men, like Apostle Paul said. You want to be very specific. You don't want to have the machine gun approach to marketing where you spray all the birds hoping that you hit a number of them, but you want to target them. Your probable purchaser is the type of person who is perfectly suited for what you're offering. The ideal person. If you can hone down whoever that person is to the letter, you are in business, right? You don't have to appeal to everyone in order to succeed. You just have to attract enough attention to close enough sales to produce enough profit to keep going. That's all, right? Let me repeat that. Attract enough attention to close enough sales to make enough profit to keep going. That's all you need to do in the early days of your business. Enough attention to close enough sales to produce enough profit to keep going. To do that, it is best to focus on attracting the attention of the people who will actually care about what you're doing. Don't go marketing to everybody when you know that not everybody would care about it, right? Not everybody will care about it. So attempting to appeal to everyone is a waste of time and money. Focus your marketing efforts on your probable purchaser. If you're selling mother care items, don't go marketing to JHS students. Yes, a couple of them might, but hey, they are not your probable purchasers. You want to market to mothers. So if you ask me, the best place you want to even start are maternity wards or antenatal care centers in hospitals. Those are the people who are about to give birth. So yes, they are the most probable purchasers of your product. That is why you need to be spending your limited resources reaching out to people who are already interested in the types of things you offer. The interest must already be there, then you'll be able to maximize the effect of your attention grabbing activities. So know who you're marketing to, know who we call your probable purchasers. There are 6 billion. There's a quote from Hugh McLeod. He's a cartoonist, and this is a quote. He said, there are 6 billion people on this planet. There are 6 billion people on this planet. 99.999% of them would rather not give you their money. Think about it. People don't really care like that. Yeah? People don't really care. So that 1% is where you need to concentrate your efforts on. You don't want to be all things to all men. So find out who your probable purchaser is. Chances are you might be struggling in the market because you didn't do this at the beginning. It's not too late. Sit down, take a pen and paper, and find out who is the probable purchaser, the most probable purchaser of this offering. And that has been Business Briefs right here on Zed in the Morning. We've moved into the third hour of the show. In this third hour, we're doing Zed Talk. We'll come back with a business conversation right after this. actually a way of life. It's something that every single person, it is imperative for every citizen of this beautiful country to endeavor to adhere to best practices at any point in time and everywhere we find ourselves. It should be a way of life. You should be the chap that you'll be walking through town and then you see something that could cause fire, and you should be the person who walks to the people and say, hey guys, this thing how you're doing can cause fire. Be that too known guy, if you get what I'm saying, because you've made it a part of your life. Make it an everyday part of your life, because if we don't do that constantly, Ghana National Fire Service will be doing the training, they'll be going to establishments, they'll be having fire drills, they'll be doing all that, and still things will not work well, because it is important that we sit as a people and say, listen, those that can be avoided, the accidents that can be avoided, we should avoid them. The others, yes, they can happen, because even in the most advanced economies, even in the most what can I say, accident conscious places, accidents would always once in a while happen. But those that can be avoided, please, we need to avoid them.
Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Yeah, it's a Monday morning. Just that we didn't start on a very good note with these lives that were lost over Saturday and Sunday in this country. But it's still a Monday morning. We still should be grateful to God for giving us this beautiful country called Ghana.
It's your lifestyle, leisure,
and when you consider the heat that we are in these times, you know that anything combustible in this heat, fire is just an automatic response.
Zed 101.9 FM.
One of the most dangerous fuels we have out there is actually the premix. A lot of people are not aware of that. And that is why sometimes we joke with these things. We joke with the premix because it is something you shouldn't kid with at all. People are not even aware that premix actually is a different blend. It's actually an in-country blend of fuel made for use by the fishing industry. Although it has similar properties to gasoline, it has a higher octane number, and it is dyed blue to differentiate it from other fuels. However, the fact that it's a dangerous fuel does not change anything at all. We should be talking to somebody from the Ghana Fire Service in the community and then find out what they're doing about this very issue.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
Still here, Z101.9 FM, and we're in the Z Talk space. I wanted to touch base with the fire, and then we come into a business conversation as we've always done. You remember last week we had a great time, and in fact the week before last as well, where we did doing business in Ghana series. As always, this hour is always about a business conversation. Unfortunately, these sad events have happened, and we need to really touch on it and touch on it well. We're trying to get the divisional officer of the Ghana Fire Service in second, the Takrady, Mr. Michael Tete, to talk to him. When we get Mr. Michael Tete, we'll ask him why this had to happen. After Piatti, why are we still having these challenges with gas and fuel and all that? Yeah, so stay tuned. We're still the business talk segment. We'll be doing Z Talk. We're looking at the CD falling, what is leading to the CD falling, and all the challenges that it comes with. We'll be having that discussion, and also we'll pick the mind of Professor Lord Mensah on this very issue before that and all that. But that would come right after we've finally finished this fire story in second Takrady. Yeah, while we're trying to get Mr. Michael Tete on the line, let me remind you once again that your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio is in full flow, which is why you don't want to miss some of the most exciting programs here on radio. Lifestyle, leisure, and business, all covered right here on Z101.9 FM. Z101.9 FM brings you Country Express with Tommy and Enforcing, Sundays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and also on Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. You don't want to miss that. It's Country Express with a man they call the legend, the king of country, Tommy and Enforcing. Very important. Also, you want to tune in every Tuesday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The show is I Have a Story to Tell. It's hosted by Honorable Fritz Bafo. Join him as he interviews some amazing Ghanaians doing amazing stuff within their various areas of specialty. You also want to join Oforiwoyo on Highway 1019, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. right here on Z101.9 FM. The show is called Highway 1019. In Goziboaten is there as well. Also, Z101.9 FM, Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is locked with The Brighter Side. Yes, that's the name of the show, The Brighter Side. And the hostess with the mostess is NYA, the brand. She brings you your late breakfast through your brunch and your lunch. Also, the weekends are sorted out. You know that. Why? Because every Saturday at 8 a.m., Professor Stephen Adai comes your way with the Time with Professor Stephen Adai show, and the theme is Abundant Living. Every Saturday, 8 a.m., right here on Z101.9 FM. And then also on Sundays, DDM comes your way with Z Gospel Groove. Z Gospel Groove with DDM takes you to church and back. David Aquamensa plays you the best in gospel music to give your spirit the lift that it needs on a Sunday morning. Also, Morning Blessings with Pastor Joshua NST comes your way 5 a.m. this and every Monday to Friday right here on Z101.9 FM. Yes, your lifestyle, leisure, and business all sorted out right here on Z101.9 FM. And also, like I said in the first hour of the show, today is a Monday. What are Mondays? Mondays are personal growth and development Mondays right here on Z101.9 FM. And today, as always, we're going to talk personal development. And the topic is goal setting and time management. It's coming up at 9 right here on Z 101.9 FM. We have the Senior Manager Corporate Communications, MTN Ghana, and host of Timekeeping Dialogue Series. Her name is Georgina Asari Fiagbenu. She'll be in the studios to have a great discussion on goal setting and time management. If you are the kind that procrastinates, you want to tune in. If you are the time that has no time at all for anything, you want to tune in. If you are the type that doesn't know what is going on, I beg, you are the right person that we have this show for. Personal growth and development Mondays. As if you need reminding, Mondays are personal growth and development Mondays right here on Zed in the Morning. Tuesdays, we do health and wellness. Wednesdays are for science and tech. Thursdays are for arts, culture, and tourism. And then Fridays, we do our business roundtables. Just so that you know, don't touch your dial right here from 5:55 every morning all through to 9:55. So coming up, we have Georgina Asari Fiagbenu. She is with MTN. She's also the host of Timekeeping Dialogue Series. She'll be talking to us about goal setting and time management. Pent at 25. Pent at 25. You don't want to miss this one. There's a big one. Pent at 25. Are you in Radford, Knatsford, UPSA, Gimpa, or University of Ghana? All roads leads to the African Union Hall. That's Pentagon Legon campus. Pentagon is celebrating its milestone all week long from the 19th, yesterday, all through to the 25th. That'll be Saturday. May is that Pent at 25. So yesterday, Sunday, there was a launch of the 25th anniversary with a gospel rock show featuring Kofi, also Prepara, Perez Music, Bethel, Revival Choir, Fig Grace, and many more. And then today, there's a cleanup exercise and reproductive health awareness, as well as students and staff health screening. So right now, this morning, if you go to Pentagon, there will be a cleanup exercise and also some health screening going on. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 21st May, there's a seminar donation to charity, alumni homecoming, and the commissioning of a renovated air-conditioned study rooms at Pentagon. Then there is Wednesday, there is a cooking and eating competition, and then there is charity sales and movie night. Thursday is a football tournament and a karaoke night. Friday there will be Islamic dialogue, exhibition and launch of staff Friday wear. Saturday, health walk, and then the whole celebration will be climaxed with Penn's most popular Legacy Night, which showcases a list of Ghanaian hip life artists. So yes, that is Pent at 25. If you want to join them, you are permitted to join the chaps from Pentagon as they have a great time with their celebration right here. We're giving you much more. Join them. Tomorrow is Wednesday is a cooking and eating competition. I'm sure Mr. Kuku Yangsing will pass through. He would like to supervise that part of the show. Pent at 25. You don't want to miss that. We're talking fire, and we're talking to the Assistant Divisional Officer at STMA Fire, and she is in the person of Linde Fua. She is the ADO, Assistant Divisional Officer. I want to ask her what happened at English here, and then the matters arising from it. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
It's a pleasure having you on ZFM this morning.
My pleasure as well.
Yes, so what really transpired, and what is the latest from your end at the Ghana National Fire Service?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity to answer the GNFS Western Command. Yes, yesterday we went to the scene, but then it happened on Saturday around 16:09 hours that we had the call. We had a distress call from one of our officers reporting a fire outbreak at Njia fishing community. So we dispatched the appliance under a minute, and at 16:21 hours, firefighters got to the scene and realized the fire had engulfed 2 vehicles and some wooden structures. So quickly, They fought the fire and brought the situation under control. So the situation was brought under control at 16:42 hours and finally extinguished at 16:52 hours. So after firefights and information gathered was there was fuel spillage. That was premixed fuel spillage. So when it got spilled, it got into contact or picked a naked flame, because that place is a fishing community. So we believe there were fish smoking going on. They picked the naked flame and it went back to the source, flame back to the source, and got into contact with all those combustibles around. So we're told that there were 14 casualties. Some were sent to St. Benedict Hospital at Inchaban and others at Young Panther. Yesterday in the afternoon that we had information that two had passed on. We learned a 15-year-old boy and a 17-year-old boy had passed on yesterday. And also there was some few damages that was made, about 4 structures partially burnt, included a local traditional kitchen where they smoked fish. There was one Land Rover 4x4 that was totally burnt and one Opel Astra that was partially burnt. So that was all that transpired yesterday at the incident scene at Injesian Fishing Community.
Okay, from the time you got the report at 4:09 until the time you got there, it was just under 12 minutes. Is that fast in or is that the normal time? What really transpired in between those 12 minutes? Considering the distance.
Information gathered at the scene was the incident happened around 16:00 hours. But the call was not placed early enough, and we were also informed that they tried handling it by themselves. That's what we heard. They were using sand and seawater. That was what they were doing. So we had the call. So from Sijai driving back all the way to Injisia, if there is traffic, that is what happens, because there's no fire station sited around Escado, which could have promptly gotten to the incident scene within the shortest of time, because you know the proximity is of the essence. The secondary metro is sited at Fijai, that is around Effiong Kwanta. So just opposing there to the incident scene, definitely there is going to be a bit of time before you get to the incident scene.
Okay, we know for a fact that the GNFS has been doing a lot in terms of education. What is still causing these things? Is it what do you think is causing such accidents after all the intensive education that Ghana National Fire Service have been doing?
It's difficult to say. We can't tell whether it is still ignorance. We can't really